Mike, Mike, Mike check. 1 2 1 2. Hey Izzo. Welcome back everybody to another episode of Mornings with Omar. And it's me, your host of course, Omar, aka Omeezy for short. Yeah, I mean, and I thank y'all for tuning in. It's a wonderful Friday. Hope everybody's feeling good. Weather's good. Hope everybody's looking good and doing good. And listen, man, hey, we survived another week in this crazy world that we live in, but, it's a time for celebration. The summer's approaching. We almost there. I know everybody's ready to have a great turned up summer, hot girl summer, hot boy summer. I even heard the white boy summer. So, everybody's summer finna be lit. You heard? So, but welcome in, man. I'm doing well. I'm back from a vacay. Another one. What can I say? Another one. Yeah, I mean, so I'm out here living my best life as well. I just got back from Barranquitas out in Puerto Rico. I love it out there, man. Puerto Rico's so wonderful, and the people are so great. Food's delicious. Island is immaculate. Just my type of vibe and energy out there. But yeah, man, it's I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be able to talk to y'all. If this is your first time checking me out, then welcome in. The vibes is great over here, and if you're a returning listener, then you know the vibes, because we done been here before. So, shout out to everybody, that listen. Shout out to the teachers that's still out there teaching. Shout out to the people overseas listening. Shout out to the healthcare workers, the nurses, the mental health workers, the therapists. Everybody that puts in them long hours. Helping others and don't really get the time to help themselves. So shout out to y'all, man. A lot happened. Also, a lot didn't happen. So, not really quite sure where to start today. But, well, listen, man. If you buy gas and you decide that, okay, I'm gonna put this gas in a plastic bag and put it in my trunk because I think there's a gas shortage going on, then you, my friend, are an idiot. You're completely an idiot. Like, I didn't see memes. I seen videos, like actual videos of people pumping gas into a bag, like a Walmart bag, and then putting it in the trunk of their car. Like, bro, who does shit like that? You like, common sense isn't common, and the things that y'all be out there doing is just more evidence to prove that fact. I mean, y'all do dumb shit. Who Listen, if there's a gas shortage, why would you think that you should go buy more gas, stock up on gas to exacerbate the problem even further? Like, listen, I was in Maryland. I was in Maryland on my way back, back to the city and stuff, and I stopped and got gas, and bro, when I tell you there was at least like 50 cars at one gas station all trying to get gas, yeah, I'm not exaggerating. It was literally 50 cars, like, and then the cars were parked, from the parking lot all the way out into the street, all the way like down the block. A bunch of cars waiting just to get gas, and I seen like I said, I seen stuff online of people just doing the stupidest stuff, trying to get gas or hoard gas, or people gas stations running out of gas. Like, it's really crazy out here. So I guess what happened was, a pipeline, Colonial Pipeline, they were hacked by some Eastern European or Russian hackers, and they basically held them for ransom, like their software or something. And I guess they made out with, like, I think they said like 5 million in cryptocurrency, untraceable cryptocurrency at that. So, just it kind of goes to show you that the hackers, and they're still here. It's still prevalent, and this cybersecurity stuff. It's really about to be like, to the next level in the coming years, because the regular wars, at least for like the big countries, the powerhouses, it's probably not likely to happen. Like, I don't think the USA is going to go to war with Russia. I don't think USA is going to go to war with China. So, what they resort to now is just cyber attacks. So, I mean, hopefully, our data and our our digital footprints in these social media sites and on these banks and all this stuff is safe. Because listen, it could come to a point where everything is hacked. And I mean, I remember watching the movie Die Hard, where like the whole US, like it was a good movie. It was the most I don't think it was the most recent Die Hard, but it was one of them Die Hards, and everything got hacked. And they were trying to like start a world. I don't know I can't remember what the premise was, but I mean, this stuff doesn't seem so far fetched now with the stuff that's going on in the world. I mean, it was proven that the Russians hacked the election, and there's still possible Russians or Eastern Europeans hacking gas pipelines in the United States. So this stuff doesn't seem like it's slowing down for real. And that Colonial Pipeline, they initially said like, oh, we're not paying no ransoms. We don't pay ransoms and stuff like that. But another report came out yesterday or today, or yesterday, Thursday, and said that they paid that ransom the same day. Like the minute they got hacked, they paid that ransom to get their stuff back. But I guess it took a while to decrypt it and all this other stuff. So listen, man, the world's a crazy place for real. So yeah, man, gas shortage going on. Gas prices is rising. I know I'm paying like $3.50 for the mid grade, and summer's here too. So gas prices go up in the summer naturally because people travel more. So I won't be surprised if we hit like $4 per gallon out here. So we'll see. In other news, there's a lot of stuff going on in Palestine, and there's like a war going on with Palestine and Israel. They shooting rockets back and forth. Listen, I don't know too much about what's going on. I just know that it looks crazy over there. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it, because like I said, I don't know what's going on, man. And I can't pick a side or anything like that. I can just only pray for, everybody involved, and hopefully that gets resolved soon. I don't know what the dispute is, or like if someone was like trying to intrude on some other land, or I don't really know. I read a little bit about it, but it didn't give me enough information to where I can, formulate a solid opinion on it. So, it's still a crazy world, man, and sometimes we just got to be appreciative and blessed that, if we're in one of these developed powerhouse countries, that we don't have to deal with the things like that, because it's children were dying, innocent people were dying, and that's never good. So prayers to everybody that lost their lives. Prayers to everybody that's just over there and has to deal with that. I know it's a lot. I couldn't do it. So, prayers to those people. So, do y'all remember the African American gentleman in North Carolina who was killed by police, and they wouldn't release the footage of it? So the update on that is that the family and the lawyers were able to view the footage, the body cam footage, and the dashboard footage. And what they concluded is that Andrew Brown Jr. was killed unnecessarily. What the lawyers are saying is that it wasn't justified. It wasn't a justified shooting. And hopefully, even though all the public wasn't able to view it, which is good. I'm not a proponent of just keep showing black people get murdered on TV and on the news outlets and stuff like that. Because like I said, it's traumatizing and it can mess with your psyche. So in these situations, I think it's important that the lawyers and the family, if they want to see these videos, so that they can see the truth and find out what happened and move forward, proceed forward with what's necessary in the next step. So hopefully justice gets served in that situation. And yeah, man, it's just I'm gonna keep my eye on it and figure out what's going on. And I'll update y'all because it's so much stuff and it's hard to keep up with everything. But somebody gotta do it, so I'm gonna be that guy. I also read another article on. It was like it was an article on basically how black voters have been being suppressed, and this may be news to some, it may not be news to others, but it's just an article on how there's always been like laws created and things like that to suppress the black vote, and the only way that we can really combat this is to continue to vote, continue to voice our voices and our displeasure with these laws that these governments and governors of these southern states and Republican states, they're really trying to keep things a certain way. They're really trying to keep the status quo. They would like things a certain way. Cause remember I was telling you how they're banning all the race theory teachings in school. So yeah, man, it's real. The suppression stuff is real. Oppression is real, and hopefully the people that are fighting for us continue to fight. People like Stacey Abrams, I believe is her name, from Georgia, and the countless others that's really on the front lines doing their due diligence and looking out for the people, not just black people, but all minorities, people of Hispanic descent and Spanish and, the immigrants that come through. So I also just read too that women will no longer be held in those detention centers on the border or something like that. I just read that in passing, so I don't know too much about it, but I'll try to like read more into that and see what that's actually about. In other news, I feel like they are officially like saying that if you're vaccinated, then you don't have to wear your mask anymore. So it's definitely a good thing. It's been pretty weird that you get vaccinated and you still had to wear a mask. A lot of places is still opening up. New York's about to open. Pennsylvania is about to open. New Jersey's about to open. I think California is about to open if they didn't already. So many places are opening up and allowing people to go outside and without their mask if they're fully vaccinated. I think people are starting to hit the numbers where I know Pennsylvania is waiting until at least like 70% of the people is vaccinated before they allow people to not have to wear a mask at all. So venues are opening up. Was it Rolling Loud is happening soon. Sporting events is coming back soon. So it's hopefully towards the end of the year things get a lot better. People are out and about and we kind of get back to some type of normal. Like I said, I'm still waiting around for the vaccine for for enough people to have it, and they're, for me personally, so I don't see like side effects and people dying or people having complications for any reason before I take it. However, you should do always what's best for you and what's best for your family when it comes to getting vaccinated. Do your own homework, do your own research, make your own decisions. Don't base it off of media or base it off of what other people say. Just do what you feel is best for you, because everybody else is going to do what's best for them. I know many people that got vaccinated and have no issues and everything is fine and dandy. So I'm just gonna wait around and give it some more time. And like I said, well, maybe one day I'll get vaccinated too. But for now, I'm cooling. I'll just wear a mask, or I'll take a COVID test prior to going into these events, because that's also an option too. Just like flying, you could take a COVID test within 72 hours before you do it, and as long as you're negative, you're allowed in these places. So I'm fine with doing that. I feel like that's an easy way to deal with it until situation changes. Oh man, but yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff going on. So for news wise, I feel like that's enough stuff there. Um, I didn't see any breaking news or any other major headlines that that I have to report on or anything like that. But all in all, man, stop hoarding gas, bro. Like that's not the wave. That's not how we handle things. Like, let's be smart Americans, and just let's not be those people. Um, so let's see. I don't know if y'all seen that movie yet. The Michael B. Jordan movie. It's like the Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. It has Lauren London in it as well. So I decided to watch this movie, and it started off kind of like a little cheesy, on the cheesy end, because Michael B. Jordan, he plays like a CIA operative, and uh, I guess I don't spoil it, but the movie was pretty good. It was pretty good. Like I said, the beginning was a little weird, a little cheesy. I was just like, eh. I was about to turn it off, but I decided to just watch through it. The movie was kind of long, almost 2 hours long, but it was a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Um, Michael B. Jordan has a way about him where his acting is like, he's a good actor, but he's not like a good actor in like in his dialogue that he has. He's a good actor in like his expressions and his body language, and you know what I mean. It's not really like Denzel. How Denzel says things, or he has that way about him. I mean, Denzel has like the body language too and the expressions too, but he also has that dialogue when he says things as well. Michael B. Jordan don't really got that yet, because he's not always like required to say much in his movies, which is kind of weird. But it was a good movie nonetheless. I recommend watching it. If, like I said, if you ain't got nothing to do this weekend, pop it on. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. Without Remorse, pretty cool movie. Something to watch. You and your girl, or you by yourself, whomever, or you and your boyfriend. If you're a female listener. So yeah, check that out, man. Check that out. I tried to watch. I remember I told y'all about that show, Michael Shea show. It's called That Darn Michael Shea, or That Damn Michael Shea, on HBO Max. And listen, I thought this show was gonna be like a Dave Chappelle type of show, where it's like skits and it's funny and whatnot. And let me tell you, man, I was highly, highly disappointed with this show. So the first episode is called Policing, and I don't know if they was trying to like make light of the situation. Like, you can't make light of police violence. Like, that's just not something that you can do in a funny way. And you probably could do it if you were like a good comedian, which I thought Michael Shea was. But however, this opening first episode was terrible. It was awful. It wasn't funny. They were like, they had like police officers. I guess they was kind of do like sketch comedy. Police officers trying to say, hey, these are ways that you can avoid being attacked or shot by police. It tried to play like, it tried to make, like I said, it tried to make light of the situations, but it's not something that you can make fun of, like, because people are really dying out here, like, for no reason. And the show just wasn't funny. It was one of the things I turned off. I don't turn many things off, even though, like I said, I was about to turn off the Michael B. Jordan. Usually I'll just stick through it and watch it, but to me it felt like that last Kevin Hart stand-up, where it's like, this isn't really funny, man. Like, at least I'll give at least the Kevin Hart situation, because he makes like family jokes now. At least with that, maybe it was kind of humorous. I don't know. I turned that off too, but this shit, that shit, that wasn't even funny, and that wasn't even worth my time. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's not worth your time. If you were considering going to watch it, I'm here to tell you now, like it's definitely not even worth it. And I'm really appalled that he would try to. That was what where he went with his opportunity, for his own show. So definitely disappointing. And listen, man, some people just I feel like they sell out, and I could never be that guy. I'm always be true to myself, true to my morals and values, and do what I feel as though is right by me and the people that come after me too. So outside of that, I didn't really get a chance to watch anything else because, like I said, I was on vacation, man. So I'll try to watch something this weekend, watch some good shows or docs, and tell y'all something else, something good that I seen. But I did try to watch the show called Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. It's about like superheroes, like I guess the superheroes were like when they were younger and are growing up with their powers and things like that. And it may have been good, but I just wasn't really in the mood. Like I'm not too big on superhero stuff, so I don't really like. It's just not because typically in superhero movies or shows, we know what happens. Like they get into a little dispute with some other person, and then a superhero comes out on top. Like I don't like shows like that. I think it's cheesy. It's too predictable. I like I like other shit. Crime docs, thrillers, suspense, psychological thrillers, dramas, things like that. Things that keep me on the edge of my seat. So either way though, it did look good. I just wasn't in the mood to watch it at the time. So I'm gonna give it another spin. I actually turned that off to watch Without Remorse, but I didn't turn it off with the intention to not go back. So I'm gonna try to check that out. I think it's only one season, 8 episodes, and yeah, man. But it seemed like it was pretty cool. A lot of music news out there. Hmm. Let's see where I should start. Well, first, rest in peace, DMX. We miss you. We love you. We hope we know you're in a better place. It was announced that he got an album coming out at the end of the month. Swiss Beats, longtime producer friend, announced it. I think on social media, Instagram probably. I don't remember the title of the album, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it. It's his last project, probably. So it's just gonna be good to hear his voice, good to hear the features, and see who he has on it. And I've always been a X fan since it's one of my first rappers I ever heard. Way back when I was young, probably like 8, 9, 10 years old when I first heard, Rough Riders Anthem and seen the video, and I was inspired then at a young age. So long live X, and we looking forward to hearing the music that you put out. I mean, that you created in your last days and months here on Earth. So I think it comes out like the 28th or something. So I'll be looking forward to that. I'll be listening. Oh, J. Cole. Listen, I didn't hear it yet because I record on Thursdays, and then obviously put the episodes out Fridays. So, but today the album's out. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's everything I thought it would be. He did release that interlude song last week, and I'm a big J. Cole fan. One of the biggest. I've always listened to him since Friday Night Lights, way back when. And honestly, I heard people saying, they liked the interlude and they thought it was very J. Cole like to put out interlude. I wasn't really feeling it, and I'm a J. Cole fan. I probably know every verse, every album, every song, but it just wasn't. I don't know. I guess like I feel him because J. Cole does J. Cole things, but maybe the interlude's probably going to sound better in the album, as you play it. Because I think I seen the track listing, and the song was like eighth or ninth. It's towards the end of the album, so it probably sounds better placed there than it does by itself. But I did hear his freestyle on LA Leakers, and that was very, what's the word that I want to use? It was very refreshing to hear that, because he was rapping for real. And he was rapping on the interlude as well, but he was rapping, and I think he did like 2 million in the first day for real views. That's J Cole being J Cole doing J Cole numbers. The freestyle was good, one of the better ones I heard. He freestyled over the throwback beat of 94 till infinity. This is how you 90 or 93 till infinity. One of those. It's a older hip hop song. He freestyled over the beat. And then he freestyled over Still Tipping on Full Foes, the Mike Jones, Paul Wall John. And he snapped for real. Like, not for nothing, he snapped. Definitely should check that out. It's definitely worth listening to. And I can't wait to really listen to this album for real and dive into that, because listen, he's the first one up. Drake was supposed to drop months ago, kept pushing it back. I don't even think he was giving people updates for real. He just didn't drop. I know Kendrick. We know Kendrick got some stuff in the tuck. He ain't dropped. Nobody wants to drop. J. Cole stepped up to the plate. The off season's out today. Check it out, because I know it's all fire, and I know. He wasn't hesitating. He wasn't waiting around for other people no more. He said, "I'm here." So, listen, Cold World, baby. They said Drake is the artist of the decade. I think it's Billboard Awards nominated, or not nominated, but gave Drake the Artist of the Decade award for 2010 to 2020. Who had a better run? Honestly, nobody else could have deserved that award other than Drake for real. He just been on the run since he came out with So Far Gone. And I think that was '09. He's been on fire since. He's been on top since. He's been on charts since. You know what I mean? Like, who else could have got it? So, shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Drizzy Drake. Big fan. Well deserved. Probably 2020, 2030. We'll see who gets that award, It could be Lil Baby with the run he's having. It could be Drake again for the next 10. We don't know. Could be me. For real. So, you never know, man. The 10-year period, man, you can really do a lot over 10 years, And I remember, like I said, I graduated high school '09. So, that was 11 years ago. So, that was like my whole adult life for real. Young adult life of just, listening to Drake, growing up, being inspired by Drake musically and just in many ways. So, you can put in a strong 10 and it could really elevate you to a place where you really stand out above and beyond everyone else. So just think of everything like that. So it's 2021. You can even include 2020, because that's when a lot of people really took a step back and reevaluated a lot of things. People started businesses. People really started to tap into their creative side or artistic side. So just think about putting the next 10 years, just giving it your all. And by the time 2030 come, just think of where you could be. Like, you could be in a place where you're 10 times better off than where you at today. So, shout out to Drake. Shout out to him getting that award. It's rumored that Lil Baby and Lil Durk is coming out with a collab album. That's probably gonna be crazy and fire. I'm not the biggest Durk fan, but with him and Baby on a song, I know what that's capable of, and I know what that's going to do to the masses and to the people that really listen to that melodic rap, where the hook is catchy and the hook is that melody rap. Baby got it. Baby got that flow. Durk got that flow. They had the song on College John with the two of them. Whenever that comes out, that's going to be going crazy, and things is opening up now, so I can only imagine what that's going to do. Soulja Boy, it was saying that he got sued by some ex-girlfriend. He was beating on her and caused her to have a miscarriage. She didn't name herself in the lawsuit, but prayers to everybody involved in that situation. Hopefully, Big Soulja ain't really do that. But if he did, then he gotta deal with the consequences for his actions. But yeah, man, it's pretty weird stuff going on. Um. Oh yeah, and Kodak, he dropping an album that's out today as well called Haitian Boy Kodak, HBK. Kodak, one of my favorite, young rappers as well. He's real intelligent and insightful. If you ever seen his interviews or if you just like really listen to his music, he actually talks about, he actually has content in the music. So I'm definitely looking forward to listening to that as well. So we got Drake, we got not Drake, we got Cole, we got Kodak. You know, two different vibes, both dropped today. So check that out, man. And I know them shits is gonna be fire. So I'm gonna be here to talk to you about it next week. Ah man, this podcast thing. I didn't always want to do a podcast. Like I had to. Well, I did, but you know it really kind of developed within the last couple years. And what made me want to do a podcast is the Joe Budden podcast. I've been a huge Joe Budden fan since he was dropping No Love Lost and Some Love Lost and All Love Lost and Ordinary Love Shit 1, 2, 3, 4. I really connected with his music back a few years back, probably like 6 years ago. Like I always knew of him, obviously, but I didn't really tap into the music till probably like 6 years ago when I was going through a little, depression and just mental health problems like that. And I heard his music, and obviously in his raps, he speaks that same thought process, those same, ideas and feelings, and he articulates it very well. So, naturally, just from listening to his music and following them, and when he started the podcast, I started to listen to the podcast early on. So I've been a day one, probably day 1.5 listener. I didn't really tap into probably like the 60 episode, like 60s, 40s, somewhere around there, 70s maybe. Not quite sure exactly where, but I have been listening for a very long time. So, I remember when it was Maul, when it was Rory, before Maul got there. And I remember, Maul came, and I remember when it was the chick there too, for real. So, I heard it like a couple early episodes just like in passing, but I didn't really commit to listening on a regular. But anyway, I say all that to say, it's officially Maul and Rory from the Joe Budden podcast are officially, not a part of that show anymore. And I listen every week, Wednesday and Saturday. They drop, and I would listen, because that really got me through. When I'm driving to class, I would listen to the podcast, or when I'm driving on the weekend to, check out a friend or just taking a road trip, I will listen because, podcast 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. So I would just throw that on and just, drive if I have like a 3-4 hour drive, 2 hour drive. So, this stuff was it is like a big part of my my life, my weekly thing. I even went to go see him in concert pre-pandemic. I think it was actually 2019. They were in Maryland. Me and my sister went, and it was good to just see him up there. And I still got the videos in my phone, pictures in my phone. I took a picture with Maul. So yeah, it's crazy, man. So it's officially, like I said, they're officially over. No more Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Maul. So the story goes is that, if y'all, I don't know if y'all are like casual fans or just that you actually listen like I do. But yeah, so what it came down to was, I guess, Rory was really adamant on, trying to, with how Joe put it, is sabotage, the show by not showing up and by asking for, to see an accountant and see, the expenses and things like that. And, so, that Maul and Roy, they missed a few episodes for like the past couple weeks. and that was intentional. They did that knowingly. That I guess, like I said, how Joe put it from his point of view is that they tried to sabotage the show by not showing up, and trying to take their fans with them, and say like, yo, like there's no respect here, and you're not treating. I guess they was basically just trying to say like, he wasn't treating them equally, as they felt as though they should be treated. And at first, like I said, I ain't speak on it because I ain't even know. I've learned to not speak on things until you get enough information, until you get at least enough facts to really formulate your own opinion on something. So, yeah, man, how Joe put it was, Roy's trying to sabotage the show, and he got Maul basically to side with him on it, and they missed some episodes, and the numbers kind of dipped in the show, and then after a couple of weeks, numbers got back to where they normally were, because I can be a living testament to that. When Maul and Roy left at first, I didn't know what was going on, and I wasn't really feeling the icing ish on the show, so I stopped listening probably for like 3 or 4 episodes myself, just because I'm like, it's not really the same without them. I don't really want to listen without all three of them present, because I like all their opinions. Honestly, I'm a fan of Roy, I'm a fan of Maul, I'm a fan of Joe. I think they all have stuff that they contribute to the show that makes it unique. Maul's like the real cool, laid back guy who just kind of too cool for school type of the thing. Joe is Joe. Everybody knows how Joe is, how he gives it up. It's pretty straightforward. He'll tell you what's on his mind. And Roy kind of has, that college background, and he worked in different positions and record labels and managing people, managing groups. He had Duce Palooza, so he has his unique perspective as well. So, and then of course Parks is there as well. So it was a good little a group. It was a good tandem, and when they were going, I didn't really know what was going on. I kind of felt like it was like some business stuff, and that's what it came out to be. It came out to be like, I guess they weren't happy with, they wanted to know where certain monies was coming from, because they up during the pandemic, and they're getting paid well, they all got raises recently. I remember they even announced that on the show that they all got raises. I remember when Joe gave them all Bitcoin, like 5,000 Bitcoin or something crazy, just cut off the Cash App deal and stuff like that. So it's kind of unfortunate, man, that Joe fired them. He fired them both. He said that their energy wasn't right, and that he just wasn't feeling it. Like, he's not going to fund his sabotage of his own show. And I feel him, because I guess what Roy been trying to do is he wanted to have like ownership in the show, and he wanted to just have more of what someone else created, and I don't know if y'all remember, I briefly touched on like friendship and business before, a couple episodes back. I don't remember which episode it was, but I briefly touched on it, because like if you're in business with your friend and you'll have disagreements, how do you like maneuver through it? Do you just kind of agree to disagree, or do you just kind of stop working with them? Or it's a very tricky situation on how you can handle that, because friendships can end over business disagreements, or like if someone tries to pull a fast one on another person on business, you know what I mean? So the way Joe put it is that if they fix their energy and things like that, then it's possible that they could come back, but it's probably not likely. And I don't think it's likely. It seems like certain boundaries were crossed that you can't really uncross. Like, you can't try to basically like sue someone, or like insinuate that someone's being dishonest and untrustworthy, and then expect things to just kind of go back to a new normal. It's kind of like if you get cheated on, or it's kind of like if you accuse someone of cheating without actually knowing. You just kind of like, you're cheating on me without the facts. Then the person kind of loses that that bond or that trust level that was there before, or if someone does cheat on you, then you know how that affects you. So it's kind of like I can see how he feels the same way. Like, y'all was supposed to trust me. Y'all was supposed to believe in me. I gave y'all raises. We all eating. Everybody's good. I'm trying to get us $100 million deals and things like that, and y'all just don't show up to work, and y'all conspired to do certain things keep to try to take the fans away and do this and do that, and it's just really unfortunate, man. I really enjoyed the show. I'm gonna still listen to the show, but it's definitely gonna be different now, and it kind of just gives me another viewpoint on, when I start to have guests and when I do these podcasts, with my friends that, my friends, it's different because, like, the way Joe was putting it was like, he knew Roy when he first started his very first podcast, but he never like thought of Roy to be, a co-host on his show. But he knew Maul much longer than he knew Roy. They lived together, they had things together and stuff like that. But the difference I feel like with them and with me is that me and my friends were like, we literally grew up together. Like, I'm 29 and I probably known my friends for 18 years. So I feel like we hopefully, just by seeing how that played out, and I know all good things kind of comes to an end, but hopefully when we do our podcast, we can have it to where, everyone is happy. Hopefully everyone's happy with their role. Everyone has ownership in it because, like, we all created it. Like, if I was to bring co-host to this show, Mornings with Omar, then, I would be in that Joe position where, this is what I created. This is my podcast. I own it, and no one else can get ownership, and I'm gonna make final decisions on this show. But if I have a podcast that I create, that like me and my friends create, which it's in the works, and we all contributed to the success of it, to the creation of it, then obviously that's different than we all would have to, like, basically how I plan on doing it and presenting it to my other friends is that we just gonna have to vote on things. Majority rules. If it's four of us doing a podcast, we need at least three people to yay or nay it for that thing to happen. If we get a split decision, then we just gotta find a way to like give it some time, give it a week or something, and then let everybody re-vote or something. Or we might have to have like a third or a fifth person that's like a part of the show that votes as well. Like, it's very tricky, but it's you have to be able to learn from either the success or the mistakes of other people to really succeed, to include your own. So, just by this whole situation happening and unfolding, it just gives me an idea of, what I could possibly expect going down the line if we do blow up and get money or get a deal, or just, we just eating just naturally, then, it can be a tricky situation for sure. So, that's the Joe Budden. That's what happened with that. That was very big news. Joe Budden podcast been on for the past like 6 years, I want to say, maybe 7, or maybe not 7, but maybe like 5-6 years it's been out. And listen, the way Joe put it was like, yo, y'all two wasn't even the first two hosts that I started with. He started with 3 other people that weren't originally, those two, and then transform into, Rory being there, and then Maul being there. So, the show goes on, and you gotta do what's best for you, your brand, your creations, your artisticness, and that's what he's doing, and I applaud him. And it's just unfortunate that has to come to an end now at this point. But moving on, man. Moving on. So this is interesting. So how I just went on my trip with a couple of my guys, and I'm the only single one that went on this trip. Me and 3 other friends, to include my brother. So They're all in relationships with their with significant others. A couple of them have kids. Um, and but me, like I said, I'm a single guy. So why is it that I'm gonna just tell y'all what happened. So the first day, boom, we get there. One of my friends, he's going through it with his girl. Oh, why you ain't call me? Or she calls him and cussing him out, and just picking petty fights over dumb stuff. And it's like, damn, bro, like you can't even enjoy it. Like she you asked her if you can go on this vacation trip, guys trip. She said okay, and then once you get here, she starts tripping and just wilding for no reason. So I'm thinking it's an isolated incident. I let it go, like, and he kind of lets it go, like, she be tripping sometimes. Then not long after, my other friend, his girl, starts hitting him, just nagging him and this, that, and the third, and cussing him out and this and that. I'm just like, damn, bro, like, and then right after that, my other friend, his girl starts tripping and wilding and for no reason. And it made me think, like, one, I'm happy I'm single and I could just take trips whenever I want without having to answer to anyone. And two, why is it that men can't have fun without y'all, ladies? Why is it that when we go on vacation or we go on a little guys trip, we get nagged, or not we, but them, they get nagged, get accused of things. We have to call you every minute, or we have to check on you. And not for nothing, they were doing. I could be biased, but I don't think it's biased. Like, they were doing everything right. They was checking in with their girls. Hey, babe. They would call them here and there. We just got here. We on our way home, and this, that, and the third. Checking in when they can. And I don't know if anybody really knows, but like in Puerto Rico, where we were in the mountains, Barranquitas. You know what I mean? So it's not like San Juan, tourist area. It's not Luquillo Beach, where it's a lot of tourists. We're like in the middle of the island, surrounded by trees, and no beach. It's just forest kind of looking. So they didn't really have service. Like, I had service because I got a good phone plan. Shout out to AT&T, and I have service most places I go. But them, on the other hand, they didn't really have service like that. So when they trying to tell they girls, like, yo, I ain't got service is going in and out, calls dropping, they not trying to hear it. They thinking niggas is out here cheating and just doing, all this other stuff that we wasn't even doing. We was literally just cooling. We spent a lot of time driving because to get from one place to the next, it's like, like an hour drive to get from this town to get to the next town, to get to here, get from the north to the south, and then, it was literally all week. Like, the whole time we were there, they girls was tripping. They girls was starting arguments for no reason, left and right, one after the other. Like, literally, like, if it's 10 o'clock in the morning, this dude's girl's tripping. By 12, somebody else's girl's tripping. By 2, somebody else's girl's tripping. And I'm just like, bruh, I'm just sitting there with the most puzzled look ever. Like, y'all niggas need to get out. Like, y'all don't even, these females really be, y'all really be tripping like that? That niggas can't even, like, just take a guy's trip without having to get accused of things or just have petty arguments started for no reason. Like, oh man, I wish y'all could have heard some of them conversations that I had to be subjected to with these females, bro. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting into a relationship until I have a female that, one, obviously is like my friend, and that understands, because I understand that people are human and people need space and people want to have their own fun and be responsible for their own fun and their own happiness. Like, if my girl went on a girls trip, I expect her to check in on me, here and there whenever she can, whenever she thinks of me. I wouldn't nag her constantly, like every hour on the hour, texting her, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Because I know she's probably just trying to have fun. I'm that type of guy, I expect my girl to be that type of girl. Like, if you can't just let me go on a guy's trip and have fun and reach out to you when when it's like, I don't want to say like when it's necessary, but when I'm ready to, when I want to, when I'm done doing something, or when I'm in the middle of, like, if I'm traveling to another place to do something else, then I feel like if I don't hit you at all, then I'm obviously out of line. If I'm doing nothing different than I would do when I'm home, I don't feel like you should be tripping like that, yo. Like, they girls was literally tripping the entire time, and I'm just like, damn, bros really can't go nowhere and have fun. Even if we wasn't in PR, even if we was here in the States, and if we had a guys' night out and went to the bar or something, I'm pretty sure that I could expect the same things to be happening, because girls don't like guys to have fun. It's just that simple. Until I'm proven otherwise, I'm gonna just believe that, and I'm sticking to it. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And another thing is, like, I have other friends that, like, cause I like to take trips, I like to travel and stuff like that, and I have other friends that I be wanting to travel with and do things with. But everybody has kids, bro, and it's hard to travel at the rate I travel with people, because, like, literally all my friends, except probably a handful of them, like probably five of them, have kids. So it's just like, and then the ones that don't have kids, they don't live necessarily close to me. They live in another state, so it's like I'm trying to plan something around, somebody else's life in another state to travel with, and it's really complicated to do. But one of the things I want to do, especially more of this year, is just traveling by myself. Like, it's not the safest thing to do, so I try not to do it too much, and I try not to go, like, I did it obviously before, and I go to places that I'm kind of familiar with, but I don't want to travel somewhere I'm not too familiar with by myself. But it's just like, it's hard because, like I said, I'm ready for my next trip already. I just got back, but I'm ready for my next trip already, and I'm trying to plan it, but it's like everybody got kids, or people got family things that they have to deal with, and or they can't take off of work, and they got to do this and do that, and it's just like, bruh, I just want to take another trip. I just want to live life, and I know people have responsibilities, and I'm not trying to make people, like, obviously, put their responsibilities to the side to just go have some fun with me. But it's hard, man. It's definitely hard out here. Shout out to all us single people without kids, you know, that's just trying to find a way to have some fun when all our friends have kids. And shout out to the good parents that's holding stuff down. Mother's Day was this past weekend. Shout out to all the mothers too. Hopefully y'all had a good day. Hopefully you didn't have to have the kids. And if you did, hopefully you get your break here soon, and you get some time to yourself to just do something for yourself. So shout out to all the mothers, man. Shout out to my mother. Shout out to my stepmother. Shout out to all my sisters that are mothers. And shout out to all my girlfriends that are mothers. You know, shout out to y'all. Life wouldn't be nothing without y'all, because y'all give it to us. So shout out to all y'all, man. What else is going on in the world? Oh, I read that Maya Angelou is going to be on a quarter. Starting 2025, they're going to start circulating those. I don't know whatever happened to the Harriet Tubman. I think she was supposed to be on a $20 bill. I don't know what happened to that. I know Trump went away with it, but I think Biden, he decided to bring it back or something. President Biden. Listen, man, I'm not a big fan of any of these presidents, government officials. It is what it is. But shout out to Maya Angelou and everything that you contributed and everything that you've done and all your work. You're a queen, and celebrations is in order for you for being on the quarter, and that's a big deal, man. So congrats to her. Can't wait to get that quarter. First one I get, I'm definitely holding, I'm cherishing it, and I'm gonna just keep it, because you never know if the next group of people do away with it. So if it comes out, I'm gonna definitely grab one. I'm gonna definitely put it in a safe place, and it may be the only time that we get that type of it may be the only time that we get up on a dollar bill or a quarter or anything like that. So shout out to Maya Angelou. Still I rise, still I rise. Oh, another thing about that, just staying on this subject, as black people especially, and this is mainly who I'm talking to, we really got to start celebrating our own people. We can't, like, we live in America, but obviously this America is it's presented as white America. It's presented as a history that doesn't really include black people except for Martin Luther King Jr. and who else? Who else, like, federally is, like, I think that may be the only. I mean, we got Black History Month, but we got Martin Luther King holiday. That's the only real holiday that people get off mostly everywhere. So what I mean is that, like, it's up to us, and I said this before, that you can't rely on these public schools to teach your children, just like we can't rely on America to celebrate our people for us. So when it comes to these birthdays of not only Dr. King but Malcolm X and Huey Newton and Maya Angelou and James Baldwin or Crispus Attucks or whomever, like, we have so many prominent figures throughout history that were black or African American or African descent that we could and we should celebrate. I mean, we even have Kwanzaa that not many people even celebrate, but it's our holiday, our, like, Christmas. It's right after Christmas, but it's like our holiday in the winter. That's for us. And I don't really know too many people that even celebrate Kwanzaa. I personally never celebrated it, but I only didn't celebrate it because I want to celebrate it the right way. I don't want to, like, celebrate it for one day. Or I always, like, the last couple years I've been working at jobs that I couldn't take off, and I'm not in that position anymore. So, and if I was in that position, I would tell my employer, like, listen, I'll work on any of these other holidays I don't really care about, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Labor Day, whatever, but for Kwanzaa, and I encourage other people to do it as well, is to, like, really take pride in celebrating our people, and let's create holidays that are for us, because other people have St. Patrick's Day. I mean, that's an Irish holiday. They have Easter, they got Memorial Day, and I mean, obviously these days are respectable. Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th, Independence Day, but we also got to celebrate our days and our people and our holidays that are for us, because we shouldn't, not that we can't, but we shouldn't live in a society where we're not celebrating ourselves. You know what I mean? It's important to do it. If niggas could celebrate Columbus Day, then by all means we should definitely celebrate our days and everything that we should, we should just celebrate all our history as well. So, whenever there's a prominent day that I feel like is on the horizon, I know we have Malcolm X. Malcolm X is I think his birthday's coming up for real. I think that's what I'm thinking of. But I'll double check that by next week. I'll provide a little more guidance in whose birthdays or whose, like, anniversary or whatever's coming up. But I just want to bring up the topic now, kind of plant the seed, kind of let you know, like, this is something that we should start doing, and I'm gonna start doing it and promoting it as if and try to get more people on board so that we can celebrate our own thing, because everyone else is doing it and we should do it too. We can't wait around for other people to do it for us, or other people to give us the cue to do something. Like, we can do anything we want. Like, not only this is America, but we're on Earth, and we're free to do whatever the hell we choose to do, for real. So that's that, and that's enough of that as well. So shout out to all the people, So, oh man, okay. So I haven't talked about relationships in a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back because I feel like sometimes people just they don't get the cues, or they don't get the clues, or the they don't see the things that they need to see when they need to see it. So from somebody that's been in many relationships, some toxic and some good, and some that I just messed up and blew my chance with, I've learned to know when things have reached its peak or its potential, and it's no longer, like when a relationship is at its end. I can kind of see, I know the red flags, or I know like the hints that kind of makes me realize, like, all right, this is something that I have to remove myself from. So just to give y'all some transparency about my life, I had a relationship a few years back with a woman, and we didn't work out. Um, there was like some accusations of cheating, which turned out to be true. Not for me, but as I had like a gut feeling, and the options there was like, okay, even though I had an idea that she cheated, and then I later found out that she did, even though she didn't initially admit to it. I could have stayed. We could have stayed living together and kind of try to find a way to work it out, whatever, whatever. But me just going through the things that I went through in life already at that point, being in toxic relationships prior to that, and right before that situation, my best friend was killed. So, I wasn't really in a place to sit around and deal with people cheating, or people like being unhappy, or people, just not being the best boyfriend and girlfriend, or husband and wife that, I felt as though we could have been. So at that moment, although it didn't feel the best, I was able to make the decision, like, okay, I need to walk away from this, because this isn't going to serve me anything good. Nothing's going to come from this if I stay in it. Um, so I moved out, and I moved on with my life, and that's just what I did. And obviously, I'm not gonna act like it was like a clean, smooth transition out, because it wasn't. I still felt things afterwards. I still had emotions afterwards. I still even at times wanted to try to make it work. Um, but I knew better than to try to like express that openly. Like I had the thought, but I didn't actually really act on it. So basically, what I'm saying is that, fellas, this is for the fellas out there. You gotta know when it's time to walk away from a female. You know, I had a friend recently who she broke up with her boyfriend that she had, and she was just voicing to me like, hey, I try to be nice about it. I try to be respectful about it, and just break up with people, and with the dude, and just try to do it in a in a way where you're gonna hurt the person, but you just try to do it in a way where it's like, it's kind of like, it's not you, it's me type of thing. So fellas, like, listen, when a woman tells you that they are unhappy, and I told y'all about this when I had a friend that went through the same situation. When a woman tells you she ain't happy, that's a cue that either, listen, she's about to do what she wants to do, or she's about to, if you decide to just ignore that, then she's probably going to cheat on you, or she's ready for something different in her life. So that's one. Like, woman tells you she's unhappy, just either try to make changes or just get out of her way. It's probably best to just get out of her way. Just give it space, give it time, just get out of her way. She needs to do something that doesn't involve you. Or if a woman tells you blatantly, listen, this is over, I don't want to be with you for whatever reason, good reason, bad reason, indifferent reason, bruh, listen, just accept it, let it go, move on. Don't try to, there's nothing you can, when a woman is done, or she's tells you she's done, or she feels unhappy, there's nothing you can do. It's already too late at that point. You just gotta suck it up and move on. You can't try to, oh, can I buy you this, or can I come over one last time, or can I do this, or we should do this, or don't send her a paragraph or two. Don't try to guilt trip her into staying with you longer, because all that's gonna do is prolong the situation. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, firsthand with myself, and I've seen it firsthand with others. Like, I know how the game goes. You got to learn the game. You know what I mean? People got to do what's best for them. And when a woman tells you she's unhappy, or she's done, or she wants to move on, or she just breaks up with you, you just got to respect it and move on. Either somebody else got it, or, like I said, she needs to figure something out that doesn't involve you. So, listen, bro, it's just, I know it doesn't feel the best. I had to walk away from some tough situations myself that I wasn't necessarily ready to walk away from. But as a man, only thing you do is accept it and move on. And she'll probably, you know, um, look at you in a more favorable light if you just accepted it and moved on. And you can't put no emotions into it at that point. Like, the emotions is out of it. Yeah, I mean, when someone makes a decision like that, it's not based off emotion. It's based off of, what they need to do for them. It's based off of what's best for them. That's how I see it, at least. So if it comes to that point, and same with, it could go vice versa too. I'm not a female, so I can't speak for females. I can only speak for men. But ladies, if a man tells you, listen, I don't want to do this anymore, or whatever, just allow that guy to do that. Give him that courtesy and that respect to have that space, especially ladies, because y'all are toxic too. You know what I mean? It's not just men. Y'all are toxic too. We tell y'all, my friend, matter of fact, I know he tried to break up with his girl a couple times, and she won't let him break up with him. She literally won't let him break up with him. She'll just keep calling him or keep texting him, or, you know what I mean? She'll hit my line, or, you know what I mean, trying to get to this guy. And it's like, yo, like, that shit's not cool. When someone tells you, like, they want to end things or whatever they want to do, like, give them that respect. Give them that courtesy, regardless of whether you think their reasoning is justified or not. Yeah, I mean, you got to let people have their space and their time to themselves to either, think through whatever they need to think through, or get through whatever, uncertainties or uneasy feelings that they have, to get back into a better place. Because maybe things will come back full circle and everything will be just fine. But if you don't allow that person to have that space to clear their mind and come to a better place, then you're only setting yourself up, and you're setting the relationship up for its demise. Because I know one of the things I didn't like in my younger life is, like, when I want to do something, or when I have a decision, or when I make a decision and I say this is what I want to do, and now I'm guilt tripped into feeling the way I feel, and now I'm like, damn, okay, I'm not supposed to feel this way, and I go against my own beliefs, and now I have resentment inside because I wanted to do something, and now I can't even do it because you made me feel as though I couldn't do it. So, just a little relationship advice. And I mean, who wants to take relationship advice from a single dude? I don't know. However, it's free, so you take what you want from that. Believe in it, don't believe in it. Try it out, don't try it out. It makes no difference to me. I'm just here to give you some of the keys and things that I felt as though I gained and learned over time. So, man, let's see. What else happened in the world? I really learned a lot from my relationships, and I wanted to have this conversation with someone else, but it's not really an option, so I'll just kind of touch on it a little bit. So we all have relationships in life, whether they're romantic relationships or, sibling relationships, parental relationships, parent-child relationships, whatever. you gotta learn. You gotta do your best to learn from these relationships. So I'll just stick on romantic relationships for now, and maybe at a later date I'll touch on the others. So just to kind of piggyback on everything I was saying, for me personally, I've learned a lot over my course of females that I dealt with. I learned, and most of it is I learned about myself. I've learned about other people, but the majority of the information I learned was like internalized, and I learned about you know the things that I'm comfortable with. I learned more about my boundaries. I learned more about what I like to do, what I don't like to do, what I'm willing to accept, what I'm not willing to accept, um, what I like in a woman, what I dislike in a woman. I learned how to, be to do like household chores, split those things. I do this, you do that. Try to keep things equal. I'll take out the trash, you cook, I'll do the dishes. You know, um, I'll put the laundry in, you fold them, or vice versa. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn in a relationship, and I think it's imperative that you reflect pretty often. I think I may have said this early on in one of the pods, um, but I try to reflect as much as possible in all situations. So especially in relationships, like it's important to, like, if you're new in a relationship or if you've been in a relationship for a while, reflect on it. Like, okay, how is the relationship different from now than when it was 6 months ago? What improved? What didn't improve? Uh, what's going well? What's not going well? What are we really good at? You know, um, you gotta, like, and then reflect also on yourself. Is like, okay, how have I grown from the past 6 months from being in this relationship? Have I gotten happier? Have I learned more about myself? Did I do more things that I like to do, or did I like do less of the things that I want to do? Do I make as many decisions as I would like to, or all these type of things kind of go into just growing as a person. And if you feel as though, if you reflect and you feel as though, okay, I'm not being much of myself as much as I used to. Like, I'm not being true to myself in this relationship. I know sometimes, like, when you get in a relationship, you could take a back seat to someone that either makes more money than you, or just has more expertise in navigating through life. Like, for instance, say you're just not really good with money, and your partner is better at handling money than you are. Then maybe it's best that let that person control the finances, because you spend too much money, or you recklessly spend, or you impulse spend, or you're just not good at managing money. Some people aren't. So you just got to learn about yourself and learn about you know about about your relationship, and about how you are in a relationship, and about, like I said, the same thing that applies to me applies to you. What goes well in it, what's not going well, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll talk about that a little more in depth with a guest, and preferably a female guest. I have one in mind. I'm just trying to make it happen at this point, but it'll come. So in due time. I don't rush anything. I feel as though everything's perfect timing in life. So when the time comes, the time will come, and it will be the perfect time. So don't worry about that. Don't fret about that. I do want to let y'all know that I do myself have some more music coming out very soon. I'm in the process of shooting a video, and it's definitely going to be a song for the summer that you could vibe to. Uh, I may even upload that song. I don't want to. We'll see. But yeah, definitely be on the lookout. I'll give y'all more information about that. But hopefully everybody enjoys their weekend, enjoys their Friday, has a good time. The semester's over for all the college folks. I think this was the last week for at least me, and for or last week was the last week. But a lot of people's, shout out to all the graduates that, getting their bachelors, getting their associates, getting their masters, maybe even doctorate degrees. Like, shout out to all the college people. I know it's stressful and I know it's a struggle, but just keep going, keep pushing forward. If the semester was good, then kudos to you. If it was bad, then, it ain't all over yet. It ain't all bad. It ain't all, everything isn't, you know, it's not a catastrophe. Shit happens. You can only just try to learn and get better and improve off the things that you did right, or the things that you didn't do as best as you could. So, shout out to all the college folks. Just keep going, keep pushing forward, keep your head up, because it ain't the end of the world, and it all gonna be worth it in the end. So, shout out to y'all, and shout out to me as well, because I'm a college student as well. Um, Oh, so I don't know why I always wait to the end to talk about Dogecoin, but here we are again. So I told y'all about Dogecoin last episode, and I told y'all to invest in it. The time was now to invest, and I gave y'all this whole soliloquy about it. Um, and then Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live and fucked the money up. You know what I mean? He went on there and talking about it was a hustle, and he just all this other nonsense about it. So it fucked the price up. Everybody started to sell it after, he said it was a hustle, and I guess that just made people not really want to trust in it or believe in it. So, Dogecoin went from a record high, like 70 something cent, and it went down to the bottom at like, I think yesterday it hit like 30 something cent, 31 cent or so. Like, it really went down. And if you invested in it when it was high, or if you invested in it off the strength of me telling you to invest in it and you lost some money, listen, I'm not a financial expert, so I do want to give you that disclaimer. However, it's okay though, because it happens, and you may be down. Listen, I was down a couple hundred myself, but it's going right back up. It's currently sitting. Listen, earlier today, it was at 31 cent. 30 something cent, 39 cent, 38 cent, something like that, whatever. But it's back up to 50 cent now. So, like I said, man, all isn't lost. These things happen. It was a week ago when that Saturday Night Live shit happened and Elon Musk went up there talking crazy, but it's still gonna go back up. So it went pretty low, but it's going back up now. So I'm not telling you to invest in it now. I'm not telling you to whatever. You do what you want to do with your money. But one of the things, I don't know if you're on Robinhood, this is a little trick for you. All right, I learned this trick just recently myself. So if you have Dogecoin and you're down a couple $100, this is what you could do. Sell some of it. Sell some of your Dogecoin. If you bought it at like 60 cent and now it's only worth 50 cent and you're down some money, just sell a couple hundred of it. If you got, I don't know how much Dogecoin you have, but sell some of it and buy it right back. You're not going to really lose any money, and you'll end up getting more Dogecoin anyway. So like, let's say you sold 100 Dogecoin, $100 worth of Dogecoin, and that $100 was worth 290 Dogecoin, right? So you sold $100 worth and you sold 290 Dogecoin, and then you bought back Dogecoin at the price where it's lower. So let's say you have an average cost of 62 cent. You sold it and you bought back right back at when it was at 39 cent. Yeah, I mean, so now your average cost of 61 cent might drop to like 54 cent or 55 cent or 56 cent. You know what I'm saying? So when you buy it at lower, you always want to buy things when you feel like it's at, when you feel like it's, or when it is just at a lower cost than what you bought it for. because now you're gonna bring down your lower average, and in the process, when you're buying it at that lower cost, you can get more of it. So, like I said, your $100 worth that you sold of Dogecoin, you may have sold 290 Dogecoin, but once you buy it right back, now you might be buying 310 Dogecoin at 39 cent or 40 cent, and now you can also bring your average cost down at the same time. So it's just a little trick there that, even though you may be down, just buy right back, um, lower that average cost to where it's kind of at that, or just put in more money. Like you could just add more money, so you don't even have to sell. If you have the money to do it, just buy more at a lower cost, and it'll bring your average down. And when it goes back up, which it will do, you'll be up. Listen, if you got 5,000 Dogecoin, 10,000 Dogecoin, and that joint hits $10, you up. It may not hit it within this month, but just think about next year. Let's just say Dogecoin hits $10 next year, next January or something, and you got 10,000 of them Jones. You up 100,000 just off of Dogecoin. Ethereum it hit a record high. That shit was over $4,000. So that's another thing that you can invest in. That's the second highest cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, invest in it all. Cybersecurity, invest in it because that's something that's going to boom. It's needed especially with cryptocurrency rising. You need security for that. You need cybersecurity for that. You need cybersecurity because things are getting hacked and people are paying ransom to these hackers. Cybersecurity is it. I don't know if gas is something that you should invest in. That's one of the things I need to ask one of my friends that are a little more knowledgeable in this. With gas prices going up, do you want to invest in gas? I don't know if that means these gas like Shell and these other like petroleum oil companies. I don't know if that means that their costs or their stocks will go up as well. I'm gonna find that out and I'm gonna try to report that back to y'all, because maybe that could be a quick flip right there. Buying invest in some oil or gas company, and like I said, summer's coming and stuff like that. I don't know if that's gonna raise the price, so I don't know if it's a quick flip or not, so don't take my word on it. But yeah, man, listen, trust in Doge. Doge will be fine, and y'all will be fine. Your money's gonna go back up. So don't panic. Just try to stay up to date with it. When there's bad news about anything, people are gonna sell because that's just what they do. They get scared, they panic, and they don't want to see things through. So once some people start to sell, once a lot of people start to sell, the price just goes to shit. So just try to stay up to date. Get some Reddit notifications or follow some groups that talk about this stuff pretty often, so when these transactions occur. I missed that. I didn't know that Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live and just bombed it, and not in a good way. Because like I said, I lost some bread too, but it's going back up now, so I'm kind of good where I'm at. I was able to lower that average cost when things went down to the bottom. So, cause like I bought some really low, like I bought some like at like 10 cent, 5 cent. Shit went up. I sold early, bought more. Shit went up. You know what I mean? So I've been going with the flow too, and I haven't struck gold yet, but at this point now I'm really going all in on Doge. That's just me personally. I'm not gonna like sell anymore, because now I really just want to stack this. So when this thing hits a high for real, once that hits, it got to 70 cents. So it's close to getting to that dollar. So you want to try to get as much Doge as you possibly can before that thing hits a dollar. You know what I mean? Because that's when I feel like it's really going to take off. And it'll probably be a while before it gets to $5, before it gets to $10. But when it does, and if you have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 Dogecoin, just imagine where that shit's going to go. Like, you're going to be so up, it's not even going to be funny. That's just That's just the like reality of it. 100,000 Dogecoin, and if that shit even hits $5, you know what I mean, you got 500,000. But that's if you have it at like. But if your cost is like I said, if your cost is around 40 cent and you have 100,000 Dogecoin and that joint hits $5, bro, just forget about it. Forget a fucking about it. All right. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else I should talk about before I wrap this shit up? Um, that Chinese flying object rocket thing. That shit landed. I think I mentioned that last podcast. I don't know, but there was like a piece of a rocket ship that China was responsible for. It was supposed to. They was thinking it was gonna land in Philly somewhere, Pennsylvania area, but I think it ended up landing in like the Central America or something, or maybe off the coast of something. I don't know, but that was pretty weird. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about. Well, oh yeah, here we go. We can talk about sports before we get out of here. Um, so I don't have these predictions as I said. The basketball. I'm sorry, the basketball. Awards predictions as I thought. Um, because I want to wait till the season ends and see where everybody finishes out. So this is the last week of this NBA season. So next week I will have some predictions for the awards: Rookie of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, etc. They created a new award, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award for social, social justice, like something like that. Some social justice award or something like that. So where all the teams can nominate a player, and then I think like the top five, like the number one person gets like 100,000 to donate to their cause, and then like the other four get like 4,000 or something. But the main person that wins it also gets the trophy or something as well. So pretty cool little thing. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron won it this year. With the things that he's done and continues to do. So we'll see. But listen, as things stand today, the Sixers are still on top of the East. And they clinched. They didn't clinch the number one seed yet, but it's looking likely. James Harden came back for the Brooklyn Nets. He came off the bench. I think he had like 18 points, 11 assists or something. Didn't really miss a beat. The Nets, their big three only played like 7 games, which is crazy. Listen, they only played like 7 games together, and the analysts have been wondering, will this lack of time together, affect them for the playoffs? We don't know, but we'll see. The playoffs start in like a week and a half, so they sitting in second place right now. The Knicks clinched the playoff. Miami did, Atlanta did, Milwaukee did, Brooklyn did, and then the play-in berths, they go to Boston, Charlotte, and Indiana, and then that last play-in berth is either down to Washington or Chicago. Neither one clinched yet, so that's what the East is looking like. And in the West, Utah clinched, Phoenix clinched, Clippers clinched, Denver clinched, Dallas clinched. Portland and the Lakers. Portland, Dallas, and the Lakers, they can all like rotate spots. Portland's in 5th, Dallas is in 6th, Lakers is in 7th. So, depending on how the season finishes, the Lakers could be in 5th or 6th if one of those teams go 0-2. If one of those teams win, then the Lakers is in the play-in berth against either Golden State or Memphis, and San Antonio. They clinched the final play-in berth. So Greg Pop's could possibly be back in the playoffs without no real superstar. Pop knows what he's doing, And, it's been a COVID year. A lot of people in and out of lineups all over the NBA. So we'll see, man. We'll see. The Lakers, they're definitely in trouble. As I mentioned before, LeBron and AD both sat out their last game. So I don't know, man. But yeah, man, it's we're gonna see exactly how this thing unfolds, especially next week. By the time next week comes, we'll see exactly how the standings are. Nothing new happened in the NFL. Same old, same old. Aaron Rodgers don't want to be there. Tim Tebow, this guy, trying to make the Jaguars squad as a tight end. We know what that is. That's called privilege. So yeah, man, we an hour and a half in. Feel like this is pretty solid. Good place to end. I hope everybody has a good, happy, healthy weekend. Has fun. Spend some time with yourself, with your family, or just doing something you love or doing something that's different. Health is wealth. Stay in shape, stay active, eat right. And listen, man, y'all know what's up, man. Till next time, I appreciate y'all. Let me give y'all a nice little quote here. It's one of my favorite quotes before I end this thing. And this quote is by the great Langston Hughes. Okay? And he says, I may have said this before. I have discovered in life that there are ways of getting almost anywhere you want to go if you really want to go. With that being said, it's your boy O. Follow me on Instagram, ohh.omar. Follow the podcast, Mornings with Omar. I'm out.